9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Got me up the coast, boy. Wanna hear the ocean roar crash over me. Then ride it home, dance it out in moonlight. Hold me tight and don't let go. Watch over me. We are all stardust, stardust, stardust. Left behind, left to find. Find one another, face the sun, fear no one, 'cause we are all one, we are all one, we are all, we are all one, we are all one, we are all. Lift me up, get moonshine, put me into overflow. Superstar.
Hey everybody, how you guys doing? So I just, was kind of thinking how lately I've been extra annoyed about law enforcement in Hawkins County, East Tennessee. Just frustrated. I don't know why. I'm just extra irritated lately about it. Actually, I do know why. From talking to Fred and all this stuff that he's having to put up with in jail. They've been giving him a hard time about talking to the public, it seems. I don't understand. Damn, 420. You didn't even have, I don't think anybody even had a heads up that I was going live either. So, oh no, oh no. Psych. You thought you were the wiener. Oh no. That's the worst, to think you're the wiener and then you're not. Oh gosh. Hey, Valerie and RJ, Linda, Lucy, Selena. Hey, everybody. I love that name, Pen 1010. Just woke up from nap. I love naps. Sleeping is my favorite. So I've been kind of worried about playing those calls, even though they're nothing, because I just feel like they've been trying to, I don't know, they've been punishing him for talking about the case, it seems like. So, yeah, I'm afraid to even, I'm afraid to play, even though it's like nothing. Seriously, it's just him talking about how they've been taking away everybody's chirps, who even mentioned his name. Kathy went in there yesterday. Well, what's today? Yeah, yesterday. And went and saw him in person and had the hardest time. Like, they weren't going to let her see him. Yeah, he does need Hawkins County. Good news is that there is I'm not going to say when, or anything, but Ryan is scheduled to visit with Fred. So fingers crossed on that. And Ryan said if they're going to have to give him a hell of a good reason why, if they don't let him see him. So, or visit with Fred. So he's going to try to go there. It's technically approved, but still, like, they've gave Kathy problems every single time she's gone up there. A couple of times been turned away. And she's, had and these were times that she had things all mapped out and ready to go and proved. And oh, there's Ryan right there. Jen's forcing me to watch a Christmas. Oh, I haven't seen that movie forever. Here's Ryan's, here's Ryan right here. If you guys want to follow his channel. We're hoping that, I don't know. I feel like they're not, for some reason, keeping him. I know that he's been locked down, but I don't know what that entails. Like, he's been locked down for some reason. See, that's another thing. They punished him by locking him down. Like, I don't know. They're really strict, of course, in jail. Like, he did get in trouble for using other people's chirps. But usually they don't really get on them for, like, as long as the other inmates don't, you can't use anybody else's chirp. But Fred was telling me that people send messages for people on their chirps, but you just can't let another inmate, like, actually use the device. It's from what, I don't know. They're probably not really supposed to send messages at all for each other, because they probably want to, it's probably to just easier to keep track of conversations and stuff and who's talking to who. But they've definitely been really tough on him, and he should be transferring anytime. So I'm hoping also that he gets to talk to him before he's transferred. Or, I don't know, maybe after. Sometimes they have to, sometimes when an inmate is first at a location, like at a jail, when they're first booked in, sometimes they won't have the ability to have visitation for like a couple weeks. So that would be probably what would be happening once he gets transferred to Sullivan. He probably wouldn't be able to have a visit for like a week or two. What's Laura's take on it all? Hey, Nanny 423, and she ran. Hey, Hawk. Yesterday I talked to Laura for a little bit because I sent Fred pictures of that's what Laura said I could show you guys. She's so proud of her grandbaby. She said I could show you guys this picture. You guys, it's hilarious. It's crazy looking at, you guys would never believe it if you saw Fred Hill's daughter. I'm not going to put her up on the screen, but you wouldn't believe it because she does not look like she would come from Ben Hill Road or Fred Hill. So it's insane, but like she looks like she lives an upper middle class or a middle class life. I'm waiting to hear back if this grandchild is Laura and Fred's or just Fred's from his ex-wife. Because I think he does have like one child from his ex-wife. Yeah. So I was gonna play those calls with Fred, but I promise you guys they're not. I feel like that he's being punished for things like for me just talking about our conversations on here or something. That's what I feel. Because what else would he doesn't nobody he doesn't talk to anybody else. You know what? You guys need to let Ryan know, like literally tell him, like literally nobody's talked to Fred, have they? Don't put seriously, haven't I like been begging people to go talk to Fred for like ever. To me, Fred's like besides he's besides Dawn and Candace, which I don't know, he's one of the most important people to talk to surrounding in this case, in my opinion. Like way more important than like Jody Sue, or any other person, because they all like at least he tries to be honest, at least to the best of his ability, from my experience. Oh shit! Dang it! There's no tricking Ryan. No tricking Ryan. Dang it! Oh, thank you, for the PayPal. I don't know who this is on YouTube, what your username is, but thank you so much. I don't want to dox you. Activate all voodoo dolls. If you seriously don't want to be modded, just like message me. There is sometimes people who don't want to be modded. And I do get a lot of hate at times. So, maybe I should have asked you first. Just tell me privately if you'd rather not, I guess. Or say now, I don't even care. Hey, Token. This is a mod curse-free channel. Yeah, I don't mess with that stuff. Like I don't know what she's obviously insinuating that I'm the one doing the curses because I'm the one that does tarot, right? I mean, who else would she be saying does that? I've never been in possession of a voodoo doll in my life. I've never even seen one in person. And I don't do any type of spells or curses, good or bad. Hey, Lips. Lips talked to Marlena Crawford. That's like the person that Fred Hill named as one of the most important people that needs to be talked to. But because she lived up on the hill, I guess I could drop the link if anybody wants to come up and talk. Jam might want to. She lived up there on the hill for a while, for several weeks. Just days before Summer went missing. There's so many. Marlena Crawford has there's a lot of bad stuff about her out there. I know they want to scare because she knows her mods are not, if they're her, if they believe her BS, then she knows that they can't, they're probably kind of like her. Fred shot at her as a kid, but her daughter was on the hill till that Friday. Yeah. Fred shot at her as a kid? What? 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 They're cousins. She went. What? What do you mean? He shot at her as a kid. Like, in what way? With what? A BB gun? I don't see that. I don't believe that. But okay, maybe, I guess she would be Fred. How old's Marlena Crawford? She's like late 30s. Fred's 46 now. Gosh. Yeah, but you don't really, that's why I'm trying to mention the ones that are really important and who's not. Like, like, in my opinion, like, because Ryan's a journalist, so this is like, this is up his alley. Let's get him on the case. Instead of Chase on the case, let's put Ryan on the case. Hey, Stormy. Oh, thank you, Clipped Wings. Oh, thank you, Granny's watching. I believe him more than anybody else associated with Beach Creek or in this whole Summer Wells thing. He's the most honest out of them all, out of everybody. People can say it's not all they want, but okay, give me examples. Oh, thank you, Jen. I am too, Michelle. Hey, yeah, I can. Hey, Michelle, are you the one I talked to? I don't know. I need to talk to. Maybe it wasn't you. Maybe I shouldn't out it on here. I don't know. Shit. Are you there, Jam?
I think so.
Yeah, a little bit quiet, but not too bad. How's it going?
Oh, my granddaughter's sick. She just got sick right before you went live, so. And I got plenty of stuff. Hey, let me come back up. I gotta fix something.
Okay, sure, no problem. Poor Jam. She's the matriarch of her family. She's got a lot of responsibilities on her hands. Okay. Well, okay, how about this? I'll just put this out there. Whoever I talk to about Cotton, who's a relative of Cotton, can you please contact me again? Because I'd like to talk to you about the new developments, the newer developments about how they question him. Because Cotton's death was considered an accident. And then when Fred talked to the TBI about what Cotton has supposedly talked to him about, that's when they were like, wait, how did you know this about how Cotton, passed away, and they thought he knew too much stuff that he shouldn't have known, and that's just because he's a local and has lived there forever and had talked to one of Cotton's family members. Okay, Anastasia, yeah. I don't know if she wants people. I figured that's who it was, but I'd love to talk to her again. I know I didn't mean to go live when Justin did. Nobody was live when I decided to go live. Hey, Ginger. Chloe. Where was his location when he passed? That would be, well, his house. We know where his house was, where he lived. Fred would be able to describe it probably to Ryan. Ryan probably be the best person to talk to him about that. Fred might, I don't know. I don't know if Fred would even know really. He probably could assume. But let's see. Hold on, somebody's trying to come up. There's J-Dog.
Hello.
Hey, I'm so sorry. I didn't know you were live.
No, it wasn't going to be a long live anyways. They arrested Angel Overstreet's
Yeah.
father today.
Yeah, I saw that. Every time they arrest somebody or find, somebody, it just gives me hope for summer, Oh.
Juno, it was emotional for me. Trust me. I've got tissues everywhere from this.
Yeah. See, that's why I heard you saying you don't know if you're going to continue doing this kind of stuff either.
It's a lot.
It is. It's a lot. People don't understand.
It's hard on your heart.
Have I told Ryan about MM? Mountain Man? Is that what you mean?
I don't know.
I guess that's.
What's going on?
Oh, we're just talking about Fred and. Or I was looking up.
Hawkins County or something.
Yeah, I'm just talking about law enforcement, possible corruption and stuff in East Tennessee, in that area. And I'm just talking about how we were looking at, somebody was asking the location of where Cotton passed, but we don't know. I think this is Cotton lived at this
He passed
house.
behind his house, didn't he?
Yeah, I think that's what. Yeah, that's why I was going to pull up his house on Google Earth, and I think this was a 1019 Mountain View. I believe. I don't know exactly where it would be, but gosh, look at all that Laurel Run Trail. Look at all that wilderness back there.
Oh yeah.
Holy crap. How would you ever find anybody in that? Oh my God.
It's a lot. Hey, puppy.
Yeah, so I'm guessing it's back here in this mess. And, Cotton's lived there, I think, pretty much his whole life. And he was a outdoorsman or whatever.
Thank you, Jack.
So, yeah, 1019 Mountain View.
They found Cotton. That's true. Yep.
Yeah, and it was ruled an accident, but then That's what I'm curious about. Why I wanted to talk to his family again to see if they if they
But
changed that or.
to be honest with you, Cotton, he had almost burnt up before too, like in a fire.
What do you mean?
There was a fire and he got stuck. It's on.
Oh, really?
He's got an there's he's got an interview on the news.
Oh,
Cotton
really?
does. Yeah. When it was the fire
Like
going on.
did you find it on YouTube or
What's his last name? Cotton's last name?
Roy Simpson?
Yeah.
It's okay. You don't have to find it right now. I I didn't see it, but I just searched his name here and see. I don't know. I'll look for it later. It's probably something we have to dig for. Um, Let me see. Have you talked with Mystical Mermaid? Oh, you mean Mystical Mermaid is who you mean. I thought you were talking about Mountain Man, the person who was supposedly snitched on Fred. I'm like, why would Ryan care about that? But yeah, do you know who found Cotton? No, I don't think so. Maybe I did. Well, maybe somebody told me and I forget now. My memory's horrible.
When did Don get out of jail?
Wasn't it? Oh,
October, November, something like that.
yeah, it was October 22nd or something. Why am I thinking it was like October 22nd? I can look.
October 22nd. Yeah. Okay. Lady Mason.
Was
October
it the
30th. October
You know, it was
22nd.
around
October 30th. Okay. Just curious.
but that would have been
It wasn't 2023. It's 2022.
right. It's so hard to keep. I can't believe it's been that long since she went missing. It's so hard to keep track.
Well, with Angel Overstreet, she went missing before summer.
Hey, can you take over real quick?
Yeah.
Sorry, and Jam. Okay.
Okay.
Sorry for just a minute.
But with Angel Overstreet, she went missing in March or May, I can't
Now,
remember
was
right
her
now.
father the number one suspect the whole time, or is this a surprise? Or
He was a suspect, but he said CPS came and picked Angel up 2 weeks prior. That never
oh,
happened.
oh my God.
Who else is saying
Yeah, that's
CPS
what I
may
was
have been
just
getting?
thinking, you know?
Mhm. Yeah, very there's a lot of similarities. And the police was lip tight about it. I honestly thought Angels would never be solved.
You thought he would get away with it.
Hmm.
Hmm.
I thought he would get away with it. I did. I thought he was going to get away with it.
Now, was it a West Virginia Kate? Where was she from?
West Virginia and Kentucky. It was both because his farm was in Kentucky, but he was in Huntington, West Virginia, which is literally on the border of
And they
Kentucky and West
found
Virginia.
her. Have they found her? I heard they were
Uh,
following her case.
I yeah, they found her. Yeah.
Oh,
Hmm.
well, thank God they did, but it's still.
They haven't said like where or anything, but
They found her.
mhm,
So, see, things can go on for a long time before something's. My
absolutely.
feelings with Summer's case and everyone saying, why haven't they been arrested? Well, because it takes a long time to gather evidence. It only
They
takes a little while to clear you, though. You understand what I'm saying?
yeah,
If you have an
they
airtight alibi, you get
mhm.
cleared pretty quickly.
They only said with Angel's case is that it is active and ongoing. That's all they said the entire time in 2.5 years. It's active and ongoing. That's it. That's it.
Like Summers.
And there was an arrest today. Well, Friday. Yeah, today. Yeah.
Well, let's just see if and hope that something
I've
happens
cried.
with Summers' case.
I've cried so much today over that baby after I found out. I was just like, it's complete. It's baby lived. The mother had Angel in a recliner in a cabin, gave birth to her. And she's got multiple kids, all of them taken away. That's the reason she had the baby at home, because she knew CPS would have. Oops, jam fell. She knew CPS would have taken Angel away. Oh, with I tell you, like, it's a lot of emotions that goes into these cases. A lot of them, because you're constantly researching, and knowing about
Okay, sorry about that.
everything. You're fine.
Very, very sorry. I thought maybe that might have been Fred, but it wasn't. So
But
um
I was saying, like in Angel's, she was born in a recliner in a cabin because the mom has like 7 or 8 children, and they're all taken away too. And she went missing in, like, I think March of 2021. And
oh wow.
the only thing that they said was the case was active and ongoing, and they did some searches, and that's all they said in 2.5 years. That's it. That's it. And they just said it was not cold. Very similar to Summers.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome. Cuz I
But
don't know any, I haven't followed that case, so I don't know anything about it. So it's a so the mother was arrested, you say? Is
no,
that or who was
the uh, he's not actually the father. He thought he was the father, and he
okay.
got and he wasn't, but he was the one that had Angel. And yeah, he beat his mom senseless. She had a brain bleed, broken bones, cracked skull in the past, and then he cut the name King Shannon in his girlfriend's back in the middle of the road, carved it in her back.
Oh my god.
Lots of sadistic stuff. Like
I
God.
know why Ginger Snap's so right. Why do these people who can't take care of their children seem to breed like rabbits? Exactly.
Good question.
And then the people who actually want children who would actually be amazing parents, struggle to have kids or, have to maybe can only have one or whatever. But then we have
See it every
it's
day.
like they're they're messing up our gene pool. Stop,
Exactly
you're
what
messing
you're
up
saying.
our gene pool.
Right.
Um Birth control is free at Planned Parenthood. Yeah.
Right.
And well, I know a lot of girls think, oh, it's going to make me gain weight or whatever. It never did that stuff to me. That's stupid though. I mean, it
Right.
is, I understand. I understand it's a thing. Like girls are really sensitive about that kind of stuff, but my daughter couldn't have babies. Oh, hey,
Yeah,
Croc.
pregnancy also makes you gain weight. Exactly, Nicolina. Exactly. Yeah.
There you go. A lot of people gave me the same warning about Ziggy. Yeah. you're gonna get a lot of warnings about, maybe not so many now, but like right
But
now people like me okay, but
with all of us creators, there's people that don't like us, and they'll be like, "Oh, that Justin for all. Oh, that Ziggy. Oh, that Nicoliner. You know,
hey
oh
Jim.
that."
Hey, sorry about that. My nephew called.
Oh,
I
you're
was gonna
good.
I was gonna tell you, you know what causes weight gain more than taking birth control?
Pregnancy.
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 That's what Nicolina just
Yeah,
said.
Yeah, oh, sorry, I didn't know. That's what
yeah.
She
Nicolene, we think alike.
said Jim never is always hears things like a
I'm
few
always a
seconds.
little behind, girls, guys.
She's the one that always laughs like at after everyone laughed, and she gets the joke.
Yeah. And I
Everyone's
laugh
already
the
laughed,
loudest.
and she's like, "Yeah, that's funny." I'm just kidding.
Stop sucking me into this tragedy, Pempery. Hey,
Yes,
I'm trying to like I am seriously, I try not to like just, I don't put her in the title or whatever. If there's nothing to talk about the case, then no reason to really talk about it. But I know I figured I hadn't had like really a Summer Wells live for a while, and I know people that's what people want to talk about, and people have been wondering about Fred and stuff. Said I was gonna play the calls, but like I I'm really I'm really worried like what is kind of consequences they're gonna.
I think they're fucking with him. I don't
Yeah.
think he's got
I'm from a
anything.
small town. They're very corrupt where he's at, I'm sure, and the corruption runs deep. Did I not see somewhere where Brandon Lawson lived with his parents the whole time before he went to jail?
I heard that.
I think it was Trev Time that might have put that out.
Yep. He's right.
Uh, did you see Trev Trime's post? And he was
Yeah.
fighting really hard for
Gotcha.
those FOIAs, and he got them
Okay, let me pull this up. Did he post something is this like recent?
yesterday. I think it is.
Wow.
The day
Okay,
after.
because he's right. You just that was something that I could not tell. I was told not to tell anybody. He is absolutely right. Brandon Lawson was staying at Ronnie Lawson's right before he went to jail. When it was absolutely freaking disgusting.
Yep.
How are you going to let a child predator stay with you? You're a freaking sheriff. Yep, I heard that too. So, and I heard it from a very reliable source. So, oh my god, it's freaking
It's
ridiculous.
pure corruption, I'm telling you. It's
It
straight
just reminded
corruption.
me, like when you said that, it just reminded me.
I mean, our town is so full of it here. I know it's got to be there too.
Like, how did Brandon get like this?
Right?
Yeah, it makes makes you question some things.
Then it makes you think about Summer Wells and like, it's like a big rabbit hole. And then it makes you look into the people who were around Brandon's case, the district attorney, and all that stuff. Like, and then you see, well, Dan Armstrong, he's been in the same position for many years too, over and over.
Well, Nicolina, that's the thing. Ronnie Lawson, he is the sheriff of Hawkins County. His son, Brandon Lawson, was charged with what?
Oh, they changed sexual assault or whatever, but they changed it to attempted. It was like a B felony, but they changed it to attempted, which how the hell can you change a charge to attempted? That's it. I know that they do plea deals, but what people won't understand, the charge still has to like make sense to the crime. He did
Right.
not attempt to do the crime. He did the crime. So that's another freaking weird thing. And also they just guessed on the dates and they just decided, oh, well, we'll just say 4 times and we're going to say this age because if we say any earlier than this, then that's going to put it up even a higher felony. And you know, like that's not fair. Nobody else gets this type of freaking luxury to have all this like talks and, special days when their court is. And, how is
Yep,
that right?
exactly, Nicolina. Because his daddy is sheriff, he should be held to a higher standard of
Pisses me off.
custody.
Hello, everyone.
Hi.
Right.
How you all doing on this Friday night?
All right. Let's see. We're just talking here about Brandon. I'm
I know.
pulling up Trev's. Yeah, I'm pulling up Trev's. Let's see. Following my review of some of the documents, I've learned that Brandon Lawson stayed with his parents at their house during the investigation into the sexual crimes. Absolutely.
He should be he should be
Thank
taken out of
you.
office for just that right there.
Oh my God. Thank you so. Oh my gosh.
2 days ago, the day has finally come. I received 60 documents today regarding Brandon Lawson. We will discuss them soon. Trev fought really hard to get these FOIAs. They didn't want to give them, but
He's absolutely right. I told, and somebody, and they told, because they were really scared because only a select few knew that he was living there because it was hush hush. So I understood it. And at the same time, Jim passed away. So it was all around the time Jim passed away. That's what got me. I was super into covering this. And then Jim passed. It was October of 2022 when everything was like really for some, I forget when he went to jail. Exactly. It must have been around that time, all around that time because, but then Jim passed and I just kind of lost track of it, but he's absolutely right about that. That's wow.
Look at that. Look what he said one day ago. Read that, Ziggy.
14 days following the sentencing of Brandon Lawson, the Hawkins County Sheriff's Office blocked me on Facebook. I guess due to request post on my personal account regarding Brandon. What? I guess due to request post on my personal account regarding Brandon and Ronnie Lawson. Now, over a year later, we stayed anything but silent, and the truth is closer than ever. This fight is much larger than Ronnie, Brandon, or any other Lawson. It's about every child in our community that deserves protection from predators. We have to stand for better for our children. Yeah, exactly. How did they not figure that? No, people weren't going to be looking into this. Everybody was already looking into Ronnie Lawson and stuff and law enforcement because of Summer Wells. So, why would he take this chance? He took this chance because he knew it was going to be his last year anyways. And, oh my God.
I'm very surprised at how deeply this was hidden. As far as I know, with the seriousness of the type of crimes he was being charged with, it was not supposed to be hidden of where he was living.
No, that should be public
information.
Absolutely.
It's absolutely freaking disgusting. Let's
I have from some very squirrely ways of finding out information here in Hawkins County. And this never, ever crossed me.
Yeah. Well, I can't talk about how I know specifically, but or how I knew but I did know. Yeah.
I'm meaning like the information I've come out with like 2 and 3 months before anybody else was covering it, about what the history of the Wells property was and things like that. I have some very squirrely ways of finding out some information, and this just was ghost. It was ghost town. There was nothing about where he was living. Everybody kept saying he was in Rogersville.
Yeah, his his wife kicked him out. And obviously he couldn't. Well, actually, no, that's not exactly. She kicked him out at first, but actually, what happened? She kicked the ended up kicking the daughter out, and took his side at first. But from what I hear, things have changed, and she is now divorcing him. From what the latest rumor is, so I hope that's freaking true.
Did he get busted for child pee?
It was for photos.
Yeah.
Who?
Brandon.
No.
No?
It was
No,
for photos.
Photos, wasn't it?
No, it was for his stepdaughter, messing around with his stepdaughter.
Oh, I thought it was
His adopted daughter. He adopted this girl when she was a freaking child.
Yeah, I thought
And
it
he
was
was
photos as
sleeping with
well.
her. No, he was sleeping with her.
Okay, that's a whole nother level of.
Yes. His freaking adopted daughter.
Chloe Jade saying stepdaughter.
Yeah, his adopted daughter. And the daughter's friend.
Sounds like Dawn.
That sounds like that. What's his?
But
What's
that's
that guy's name from the family of like 20 siblings?
Lady May said more at church too.
Yeah, who knows? And they say she was in love with him. She was in love with him, the young girl. Like, she is really screwed with her head. It is so messed up. Can you imagine what she had to freaking go through? And then, oh my gosh, like, you guys do not understand what this girl has gone through. Huh?
Josh Duggar.
Oh, yeah, that's another whole.
That's the one I was referring to. Yeah.
The picture thing that you guys are talking about is or what's his name? Junior.
That's down the road.
Yeah.
Does he have to register for a lifetime?
Yes, and that's what they were trying to say is like, oh, well, he has to register for a lifetime, so he is getting, that's what they were trying to do to make up for this, the really light sentence. The guy in the call was saying, well, he has to register for a lifetime. It's like, okay, that's required. And how they lowered his charges to attempted when it's not, he actually did the crime. So
But he spent a year in jail?
Yeah, and that's it. And he has a year in jail and
he got probably special privileges in
12
jail
suspended
too.
or something. Yeah, he was a trustee. He was the highest level trustee. Yes.
Oh dear God.
It's absolutely ridiculous.
And this is the county I live in.
Well, he was in Green County, or what county was it? It was no,
I mean in Hawkins County in general.
Yeah. Just really makes me, that situation really upsets me, like really bad.
Grace, trust me, that's a work in progress. I'm looking for somewhere to move to.
He was a youth leader at church. Yes. So yeah, for those who thought it was pictures, and now it was not pictures.
Seventh-day Adventist.
And she came out and told her mom in front of him with her friend. It was like, he did this, blah, 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 and right in front of him. And oh my God. And is this what I hear? And I heard it's happened actually younger than what was reported, but.
What denomination are they?
Baptist,
I believe.
The Burim Church. Yeah, it seems mostly Baptist.
It's Southern Baptist.
Okay.
Ryan, I used to live down in Gray, so I know I'm very familiar with how Johnson City is.
Yeah,
but I appreciate it.
That's where somebody somebody told me, like one of the locals, like when I first came down there, she's like, Yennefer was telling me Johnson City. I think that was probably the first place I stayed
Johnson
when I,
City's nice.
or
I've told you to stay out in Johnson City or out in Bristol.
mhm.
You'd be safe there, and you're not going to be bothered with
Bristol's nice.
the people that knowing you from YouTube.
Yes, and yep. And we look at Bureau connections. Yes, that's what I was really looking into all deeply. His house that he has, that he lives in, that Brandon and his wife have. Okay, so you guys remember I was looking into those, that businessman, Roger, what's his last name? Roger, him and his brothers, because they're like these, they they basically own like all the real estate out there in Rogersville, and Lawson seems awfully close to this guy, and this guy's been arrested before, and for some shady shit like financial crimes or something, and it's just a shady family, but they're wealthy in the area, and that church, Durham Church, was like built by them or owned by them or something, and the house that Brandon lives in is also associated with the church. The church gave that house to Brandon. That freak, and that name, that Roger, somebody knows. Somebody's got to remember.
They're saying it's
Stewart. There you
Stewart.
go. Yeah, Stewart. And his brother, he has him and his sons and his brother, like, own everything, like own all kinds of property out there, and they're like they're buddies with Lawson, and and then that DA is all up in it all too. What's his name? So yeah, it's scary to talk about it all. I feel like kind of a way it's probably, it's a good thing I probably got distracted when I did, because there's some like, I don't know, there's some messed up stuff going on, in my opinion.
Grace, I don't.
Yep, that's what I heard. Evil entered. That's when I was looking into all this stuff. People, and I was starting to notice, and I was telling people, why is churches, why am I getting so many Baptist churches kept coming up, like connected to everybody? And I made this, you guys remember, I made this like whole chart of how everybody was connected, and it was called, like, it was like this spider web. I'll have to find that and show you. It was all with this situation. It showed how Ronnie knew, like, how he was related to, and who he knew. And like, for instance, his brother is on the narcotics, unit or whatever in Hawkins, Gary or something Lawson. And then Roger Lawson, I connected all together, how they all know each other and everything, because it's so confusing. And that's how they're able to get away with all this stuff, is because it's so confusing. Like, it's yeah, you have to be really organized and like spend tons of time with it. Do you realize how often pastors turn up when they bust those huge trafficking rings? I know. And I was looking into that pastor too, and I'm not seeing so much with him, but like, I heard he was told to never come back to that church again. But of course they're going to tell him that now, right?
The problem with a couple of religions, though, is that you don't belong to the church itself. You belong to the district, and they will move, just like Catholicism will move a priest. They'll move their preacher to where they believe that that your skill set, your specific skill set as a minister, is more needed. So the Southern Baptist does that as well. And there's another church that's up in the Northeast. I can't remember the religion or the theology or whatever the name of it is, but they do the same thing.
Also, Baptist churches, because I'm Baptist, a lot of times when you have churches that are all in the same local area, they all attend the same church camp. They all attend, even some out of the county, some out of the area a little bit. A lot of the Baptist churches congregate together.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Evil Enter said, connect the dots, it all leads to lamplight. Really? Evil Enter, do you think like the Carly Trent is all related too? And Rose Bly, everything? I noticed a lot of Carly Trent people are related to the Summer Wells case. That's another thing I was really noticing when I was looking at all that.
I'll talk to you about that.
Uh-oh. Okay. Southern Baptist Conference. Lamplight Theater is a church club who like to put on plays for a community. It's strange. Yeah, it is a strange little thingamajig.
That's not strange. I don't believe that's strange because
I do. I think the place is strange. They like, I don't know. It's just weird.
Who?
So
the Lamplight Theater people, it's just, I don't know. It's like, I don't know. It's just, I don't.
When I
I've
was
never
living in
like that.
living in Massachusetts, the church we went to had a Christian rock band that they would hold their concerts and invite other Christian rock groups in
I think
on
it's
a
more the
Friday or
people.
Saturday.
A couple of the people are strange. How about that? More so a
They're-
couple.
they- okay, thank you. That's what I was trying to get at.
Yeah.
Is it the people or is it the program
Yeah,
that they're
more so the people. Not so much what they're doing at all.
I think the name Lamplight is just weird. It just sounds weird.
Yeah, I guess if we're around in the South, people are really serious about their religion, and a lot of locals speak about the place being concerning. We're thinking of checking out a show.
the
Yeah,
theater
right.
itself downtown in Kingsport is no longer associated with the church. The church is a whole different aspect anymore.
Did anyone here see the video in the very beginning of when Summer went missing of that Timmy guy dressed or calling himself Yimmy and not Timmy, and he was dancing with underwear on his head?
Now that sounds like exactly something that what's his name would do.
I'm telling you, it was a picture of that, that big boy that does all the praying?
Mhm.
Timmy, it was him, but he called himself Yimmy, and he was like dancing with his underwear on his head.
Big Timmy?
Yes. Do you remember that?
The guy that does sign language interpretation?
Yes, he was. He wasn't doing that kind of dance when I saw him. But I think it's been taken down.
That's just sign language. It's
Yeah, that was not sign language, but I'm saying that's the same person.
Yeah, that guy.
I'm saying why he moves like he does is because of sign language. Dancing, it's like a show to put on it's a visual representation.
But that show he was putting on in that video was, he didn't have but underwear on, and then he had a pair of underwear on his head, and he was doing this weird dance.
You need to go to the closet.
Yeah, I've seen.
Come on, honey. Just come on, Timmy.
Oh gosh, yeah, I have seen some of those weird videos where he's dancing around and stuff like that.
Yimit as his alter ego?
Thank you, Miss.
Yes, I believe so. The good and the bad.
The good, the bad, and the creepy.
Interpretive dance. Yeah. Have you noticed most of all these pedos get their name home for free? Oh, really? Do they get their? I don't know. What do you mean? I guess you'll have to give me examples.
I don't know what you mean home for free. I hope they wear clean underwear.
Yes, Roblox is definitely I've heard that too, that Roblox is a place but they probably use all kinds of kids apps, kids games and stuff to recruit kids to.
Yes.
Yes, that's true. They do.
Yes.
It's any kind of game that's in a RPO where you can actually sync up with a voice program and talk to people. It's very, I hate to say common, but it's the things that get discussed on there are not always game related. Put it that way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's why I
Or
can't
a
stand
lot
playing
of
those
times
kinds of games.
the biggest trick is for him to act like, oh, you should be a model. You can model, um, and it will be these like weirdo guys, like, yeah, say they'll pretend to be younger or they'll, yeah, it's all a
Like,
trick.
I'm too dumb to learn Discord. I don't get it.
I
It's
don't understand it either, Justin.
complicated and it's too much drama, anyways.
It's not even Discord anymore. It's Line.
Is it?
Oh yeah, that's the one you've got to seriously watch out for. Is Line?
Discord's called Line now.
No, there's another chat program.
God,
Um,
It's
Ziggy, you
called
acting like
Line.
me now.
no, I thought he said it was called Line now. An online
Oh.
ring was just us making 1.5 million a month at $15 per user. That's a lot. Wow, a lot of sickos. $1.5 million a month at $15 per user. Wow.
It's Line, like you're going to draw a line.
Mm-hmm. They convince the kids to show them something in a picture and they groom them by blackmailing them that they'll teach their parents if they don't go. They convince the kids to show them something in a picture and they groom them by blackmailing them that they'll tell their parents if they don't go further. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I know. They have all kinds of weird apps and stuff. Like my daughter is telling me about that. Wait. Oh, is the burn barrel in here? If she is, hey. Or maybe you guys are just referencing something of her videos. I was going to say, I haven't seen her in here forever.
What's the burn barrel?
Oh, the burn barrel channel. She used to come hang out here a lot, but then when Nana passed away, she kind of just stopped. She made her like more look into her health more, and it really scared her straight when Nana passed. Line, we had that in Japan. It was like WhatsApp. Oh, okay. Yeah, well, WhatsApp is another one that they use for all their scams and stuff.
I don't know what it was in Japan, but I know here in the U.S. it's a very big thirst trap, and you can do voice as well as text messaging on there, and it is a low latency program that some gamers will use, and it's not regulated like it really needs to be. Not so much for its content, but for age differentials and who is logging in and things like that.
Yeah, Ryan, he's down because of the Angel Overstreet case. Ryan, it's good news though for Summer
news.
because it's
good news. I'll tell you, once Summer's found, like,
man, that's gonna be
heavy
day.
The thing is, like, the day that there's an arrest for Summer, that means we're halfway through it.
Right.
Technically.
Oh, look at Boswell. How long has she been in jail now for? And it's not going to be until the beginning of 2025 for a trial.
I just feel like they would have cleared them publicly with all the shenanigans. I think that they would come out with a press conference and clear them if they're cleared.
Listen, law enforcement, if they haven't been able to clear people in 2.5 years, on Summer Wells' case privately,
Right.
then we're screwed.
Exactly.
So trust me, if Don's story would have fit, in my opinion, on June 15th, like he was at work, they would have cleared him.
They would have announced it. They did with Brandy and Tyler. And I know that some say they don't tell when people are cleared, but why wouldn't they with this case? Because they're getting hounded.
Unless somebody finds some evidence. Just, yeah, there won't be arrest unless somebody finds some evidence. Zach Gully was mentioned here in chat. Makes me think of Joe Gully. Candace pretended to have a Facebook account. Okay, so that Joe Gully, I talked to somebody who knows him, and that's really his name. But she knows him from she hasn't seen him for 25 years. So I'm gonna try to find somebody else on his Facebook to talk to that I think is not a sex bot and is an actual friend of his, and see if they know what his connection is to Don Wells. I think they met in jail. I think it's something like that, or some kind of transitional housing or rehab or something. But I just want to know what this kid's if he's just messing around. I'm curious I don't think he's the person that was doing those phone calls, but I don't know.
I think that person was a little older that was doing the phone calls.
Well, this guy is actually sorry to interrupt, but he's actually way older than what you would think, because that picture on the Facebook, he looks like so much younger in that picture. But when you scroll down and look at one of the other pictures of his, he has gray hair and everything. So he's older than I am. Yeah, he's free to abuse until they arrest Don. He's free to abuse again.
Somebody was asking what is the delay with Boswell. Caseload for the judge, the mountain of evidence he has to go through to decide what is going to be legally acceptable or not. The last time I had heard, there was something like 10,000 pieces of documents, photos, video that the judge has to go through to decide if it's all what's going to be acceptable in court and what's not. This is all pre-motion trial stuff.
Oh, thank you, Daly. I was typing it out because I was trying not to be rude, but bro, you swear it sounds like Andy B. I think so very much as well. But a lot of people down there in that area sound similar because of the accent. So it's hard to say. Thank you, Not a Drama. Yeah, I don't know much about the Boswell. I don't know much about the Boswell case. I got so into Summer Wells that
Boswell will tear you apart because you've had a little girl. It's 18-month-old little girl. Basically, what's her name down? Justin, you'll know this name. What's her name down in Florida?
Well, I'm sorry.
What was the mother down in Florida that was put on trial for her daughter?
Casey Anthony.
Exactly. It's a similar story to Casey Anthony, but up here in Tennessee. That's Boswell.
Yeah. I've heard. I mean, if you remind me some of the details, I would know. I know it. I have heard of it. I just don't know it, as closely as I do Summer Wells.
Basically,
Summer Wells, Chris Watts.
Basically, the same story as Casey Anthony, except that they found the little girl in a shed hidden amongst a bunch of stuffed animals on her grandfather's property.
Mm-hmm.
deceased?
Wasn't
Yes.
she in like a trash can?
No, nope. It was just in a shed, hidden by a bunch of her stuffed animals.
Oh my.
Had they searched the property before? And how long did it take them to find her?
The Boswell family had multiple different properties. The grandfather had a farm, actually out by what's his name? It's Sherfy Jr.
Yes.
And they had the family had different properties, but for some reason the mom and the daughter were just, I hate to say it, it sound ugly, but they were the rotten apples.
Trash.
Yeah, I'm trying to, I think rotten
Okay.
apples is the nice way to say it. They got into legal trouble and they stayed in legal trouble.
Oh no, she was not still alive.
No, she was in the shed, buried under a
I
bunch of her
believe RJ,
stuffies.
she was upside down in a trash can because they talked about, I don't want to talk about it, but they talked about some things about her condition because she was down in that trash can.
Yeah, it was like a trash can upside down, but it was in a playhouse with stuffed animals around it or
Right,
something.
right.
If you want your mind blown, research the utility guy who found Kaylee. Ties to Rogersville, a certain woman in that Summer Wells case mentioned. I'll keep quiet, but it's bizarre. Who found Kaylee Anthony?
A utility worker.
According to ABC News,
What?
Anthony was charged with the toddler's murder in October.
I'm
Croft
looking up the
discovered
name.
Kaylee's remains in December, but had suspicions about the location months before. He alerted police to his suspicisions in
Damn,
August
cracked
and met
me
cops
up.
at the site.
I'm sorry. That was a little delayed laugh, but further after. Oh my gosh. Anyways, I was looking for the name Roy Kronk. Okay, Roy Kronk.
Yeah, here's the thing about that is basically from the woods to where she was found was behind the dad and mom's property, the grandparents' property in the Casey Anthony case.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know that one. Pretty. I was just seeing former Kingsport resident who found Kaylee Anthony's body testify he never touched remains. Yeah, I have to probably look, since it's not coming up right away, I probably have to, looks like it's something that's not, I don't know, where do you look to, on his Facebook or something? Facebook's a really good research tool.
In one of Don's buildings, he's got like a hole in it with like rock. It's like a well or something, isn't it? But it's been searched. But it's just so weird.
A couple of those sheds are in just bad condition.
I've got photos of that damn. Oh, that's so funny, Ziggy.
What?
This.
Sorry, I'm not sure about that.
You're praying. I want to send you a So funny.
Can't hear you.
Oh,
It's really
sorry.
quiet.
1 second.
Okay. Didn't Don say he was part of the EB search party with one of the lights? That sounds kind of familiar, actually.
I think that was a debunked thing.
Was
And
it?
yeah, it was
I can't
Sherfy
imagine him getting out and searching because
it was Sherfy that was involved, from what I understand, volunteered to be searching for Evelyn.
yeah, as I say, that's crazy if true. Because he can't even search for his own daughter, even though he likes to say he has. We haven't seen any evidence, but Leslie, the woman that passed, that was Allison's friend. Actually, she was a friend. I was thinking, wasn't she? No, that was a rumor that she was family. That actually was a rumor that she was Fred Hill's family because her name was Leslie Hill, but that's not true. They're not related. Hey, Rachel Oakes. But Fred Hill is related to, they all are pretty much, Fred Hill is related to Andy Bernard, Marlena Crawford, everybody around there is related, but he doesn't, like, they don't associate really. I mean, they know of each other, but everybody is pretty much cousins out there.
I live right beside my cousin and have not talked to him in like 10 years.
Yeah. I think Don wanted to look like a good guy and he was searching. Yeah, he comes off like I said, he comes off when you meet him. He does seem like a decent guy. He apologizes a lot. Huh?
Of course he does.
Yeah. Hey, Survivor.
Appearance
Satan's in the book an angel too.
The appearance
Roy
is very
Kronk was
deceiving.
married to Leslie Hill. Really? Really? Do you know that, Justin?
What? Roy
That
Kronk?
Roy Kronk was married to Leslie?
Not that I knew of.
I have to look into that. Let me see. I need to get all my search. I've been poor lately and haven't been able to pay for all my search stuff that
Hello, Sheba Mom.
Just email me or just text me what you want. I'll send it to you.
Maybe Roy Kronk's like background, like in who his associates, family members, like.
Yes, that was right after. Where is? I'm sorry, I'm saying where is because that's TV show from like the '90s. Carmen Sandiego. Yes, that is the truth. He was going around on either his golf cart or in his truck, and he saw little kids playing and decided to ask them if they had seen his little girl. And the way he approached the little kids, the kids got scared and ran to their house, and their parents called the police.
All these locator creators, not RJ, but other.
Yeah, like Chase. How did the Indiana rumor, that was started by Chase, right?
What was the Indiana? Oh, that he knew where Summer was,
the first time that Indiana was mentioned.
Right, that he knew where Summer was, and she was sent off to Indiana. Is that the one you're talking about?
Right.
Yeah, that was started by him.
He's weird as freak, though. Like, he's just a weirdo. I do believe Don knew him prior.
So do I.
Remember when Don said that he had gotten a fight with him one time? Now he wants to act like he didn't say that. Because I remember he did say that he got in a fist fight with Brad at one time, and he like acted like it was all like that he was sorry that he lied to everybody, that he did know Brad was Sean and they had gotten a fight one time. And I'm like, what? And now it was brought up again, like, I don't know, a couple months ago on somebody's panel, and he acts like he has no idea what they're talking about. Probably because it was just a bullshit story. Jam had to drop because she doesn't feel good. That makes sense. No wonder she was being so quiet.
Jam, I hope you feel better soon.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that she was sick.
Didn't he fix up one of
I mean,
his
I know
cars
she was
before S went missing? Yes, he did.
Didn't he fix up one?
What are you talking about? Why does no one believe what I say? I do a ton of research. I don't know what you said before that.
Who fixed up what? I'm sorry, I'm a little stuck on that one. What you were saying?
What was it? I think she mean Brad.
Ziggy, do you guys remember when the group went on the Light Cemetery and there was a fresh grave site? That wasn't Light Cemetery, was it?
That was Morrison. If you were there right after Summer went missing, it would have been Morrison.
The group. What, the group? A group? You saw it said a group went there to Morrison?
No, there was somebody that had passed away within a couple days before Summer went missing, and they were buried in Morrison.
Yes, Valerie. I'll be right back. I'm gonna go get a
I
coffee.
think that they're talking about that somebody was searching at a cemetery and that there was a fresh grave site.
Morrison is the cemetery directly across from Ben Hill Road.
Mm-hmm. My dad's seller was not on any kind of blueprint or anything like that because his house is sold. We bought it and redid it. When he sold it, it was nowhere showing on the property. Oh. Yeah. Why do they keep moving her? Well, you don't know that, but we can assume. She could have been in the car Dawn gave Fred. What do you mean? What car that Dawn gave Fred? Dawn didn't give Fred a car. That would have been like way before Summer went missing.
Fred Hill was on the property on June 15th collecting a vehicle that was for scrap.
What?
They had parted it out already. It was, yes.
No, he was not.
Yes,
No, he was not. Where'd you hear this at?
He was there early in the day.
Where'd you hear this at?
It's been researched. I'm not sure I have permission to tell that person's name, but it's been researched.
How are we supposed to believe something? How come why haven't we even asked him this then? Or even talked to him about this?
I'll find out. I'll find out.
On the 15th, though, Lady May, he said, yes, he did say he was there or that he was towing vehicles, but that's a normal thing for him that wasn't just a June 15th thing for him to do. That's everything for him thing to do.
Right. And there was a blue truck that was that Fred Hill was told to scrap out. And
yeah, I know about that truck, and that's when he saw Candace pregnant. That was before Summer went missing.
That vehicle was picked up the morning of June 15th.
Okay. Laura said it was when they picked up that truck. Both of them says when they picked up that truck was when they saw Candace pregnant, which would have been and they said it was like a couple months before Summer went missing.
If anybody had seen Candace pregnant, the last pregnancy she had.
Lady May, I need some type of proof. If you guys are going to just spread stuff, I need proof. You can't just go out and say something like that. Where are you getting this? Where did this come from? Here we are 2.5 years later, and where is this coming from? You can't, just like anything, we need to know like who's saying this and where it come from so we can decide if we need to believe the information or not. But we can't just go by what somebody says and be like, oh, believe me, just believe me, he was there. Well, I mean, that I do trust some of you guys, but it's going to always be in my mind, like, where'd it come from? I'm always going to doubt it. I need to know why you got or where that came from.
For the moment.
Maybe he'll call tonight and I'll ask him about that. But I just wish I would have known about something like that because I would have asked him.
for the moment, I am going to stand by that being correct. Let me get more information for you on that. But information I had found out, or information
He does
that I was
not talk
researching,
about
given to me.
blowing through a police barricade. Oh my God. That is not true.
Who's
What
blown
the
through what police?
hell?
Hang
Hold
on,
on.
who
Let's
I don't know anything about it blowing through a police barricade, a
I do
barricade.
know about him towing a vehicle from Dawn's. I do know about Dawn giving him a vehicle. The vehicle, the blue truck that has a red interior, that's only parts like of a truck. But I heard it was, I was under the impression it was before that. But see, Fred did say he saw Fred drive up that, or I'm sorry, Dawn drive up the driveway with the boys and the morning of the 15th. I do remember that. I don't remember anything about him being there. I do know he was towing trucks. It's just like I hate things come.
The problem with it with what you're, and I'm not, please don't think I'm trying to discredit what you're saying. I'm just saying the problem with what everybody's saying about a truck being towed when Candace was pregnant is the last time Candace could have ever possibly been pregnant was when Summer was
Well, according to them, unless we seen any proof that she's had her tubes tied. You know what I'm saying? According to her tubes are tied, right? Have we seen any proof of that?
We only have the verbal of Candace and Dawn saying that that's not possible for her to get pregnant.
Right. And I just, with anything, no matter who it comes from, I just like to know,
Yeah. Give me a day or two to give you, because I have to, people's sleep schedules, work schedules, so on and so forth. Of when, I've already reached out to the person I know gave me that information. I'm just trying to get more. I remember talking about it. Now, granted, you and I didn't know each other back then. When probably 6-8 months after Summer went missing. BB Diamond, it's not that I have to research anything more. It's just I'm reaching out to somebody for that.
I was just going to ask Laura about it and see what she said. You know what I mean? What she tells me. Let me ask her. I apologize if I end up being wrong. I don't remember anything about. I know for a fact that he told me that it was before Summer went missing. So that the one truck that I saw, but maybe there's a different truck.
So the way I look at it, it's not about being right or wrong. It's about getting the truth out there. And this is something that's been overlooked before. Then this is we need to make sure it's known.
Right, but I'd like to know where it came from. Like we just need to know vet the source, basically. But whatever.
I'll tell you this: it comes from one of my mods.
That's okay. Like you don't have to say it right now. Like I'm not. Right. Don't want to put you on the. Don't worry about it. It's just it would help. No. Like understand to.
I'll say that it comes from one of my mods, but I'll take responsibility of the information if I'm wrong, if I'm misreporting it. But if I'm correct on what I remember the research that being researched as, I'm going to share it with you. Make sure you know it.
I'm messaging. She's messaging me right now.
to whoever it was that said I've been spreading it all over YouTube, I haven't talked about that since a year and a half. My goodness, we're almost up against 900 days for Summer being missing.
I do remember Fred saying I do remember he said he saw Dawn drive up the driveway with the boy, that he saw him that morning. So, driving up the driveway. So maybe that's when, maybe, I don't know. I'll have to ask her. I'm waiting for a response back from her, but it's really Fred that I want to ask, because her memory is not, his memory is much better than hers.
No, I understand. Again, it's not a matter of being right or wrong. If I'm wrong, I'll take responsibility over being wrong. But, and like you, I know you would do the same, but I'm just saying that from my understanding, that there was a vehicle towed the morning, not in the afternoon, not in the evening. It was the morning. So Fred had nothing to do with this, the Summer disappearance being
If anybody
removed
has
off
a
the
clip,
vehicle.
that they're
off the
talking
property.
about, just send it to me. The ones that say he said it or whatever, if you guys have the clip or whatever, because if it happened, it happened. You don't believe she had her tubes tied, most likely menopause. I do know that they were towing, they were towing vehicles to a scrapyard.
Mm-hmm.
But I know these are meth addicts, and this is something that they do all the time. It's tow vehicles. It's tear apart vehicles and part them out.
Scrap them, part them out. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Because
so
you can make a lot of money about breaking down a vehicle, especially an older vehicle, for parts.
yeah, I'm waiting. She's still typing, so I'm waiting.
I remember Fred saying he saw them pull in the driveway. The first interview, he never said he was at the wells on June 15th. Don said it was asked in one of Cher's interviews rather recently if he was up there, and I'm trying to find it. Just give me a second.
Yeah, that's true, Shiva. I want to know where the dang couch is.
It's still on 110 Ben Hill Road. It's
on the side of the...
Yeah, it's been thrown down the hill.
She even responded about it. She's talking about... She's here telling me about sending Fred money, something about her sending Fred money instead of, I asked her, I'm waiting for, she said she can't talk. So I'm waiting to, that's not.
I apologize.
That's not, why crying? That's not true. That's not true. That is not true either. It was Fred, it was Rick Crawford who told Fred about Summer, that Summer was sacrificed for her sins. It was Cotton who told him, who had talked to Fred about things that he shouldn't have known, or he was saying some kind of things about Summer's case that kind of seemed odd to Fred, and Fred reported it to law enforcement. But about the sacrifice for sins, he said that was Rick Crawford Sr. who told him that. Don Wells told him that. He was just letting me know, like, the rumors and the things Don's supposedly saying and that other locals are saying. Yeah, but that was over at his house, not Don's house. Yes, I know about that. That's because, remember, Candace was down there by Fred's property, and people were wondering, and also the dogs hit down there, and also Andy Bernard was seen down there supposedly. So he was thinking that they were trying to set him up, and then recently people thought maybe when he was towing these vehicles out that day, could Candace have put some, Summer in one of those vehicles he was towing out that day? But that was over on Fred's property, not on Don's. Yeah, we're just gonna all have different opinions, and that's fine. I know I get irritated about stuff that I feel like I just have never. There are a couple things. Of course, this is 2.5 years ago. It's not going to be, everything's not going to be perfect and line up perfectly, but for the most part, there's several things that have really changed. I haven't noticed any type of story changing until, when the cotton thing happened. I was like, whoa, that kind of, like, I was like, where, how long have you known this? But I haven't been able to, like, really talk to him really openly about that, because where he's at currently, and I'd really like to ask him more about that situation, but the position he is in now, it's really hard to openly talk to him. Thank you, that girl, in my opinion, but yeah, and I went there also. I've been down to Tennessee 3 times, and each time I was down in Tennessee, guys, like, I've been talking to Fred for 2 years now, regularly. And I've been down to Tennessee 3 times, and each time I went down there each time I saw him several times, especially if not, some, like last trip I only saw Fred once, but I saw Laura several times throughout the days I was there. And I've always been in contact with them through Messenger and stuff. And it's definitely through this whole time since he's been incarcerated regularly. So I've talked to him a lot about the case, and there are sometimes, there's always, like, occasionally something that comes up, like, that I may have not really heard before, that kind of, like, shocks me. So maybe there is something about, she's not responding to me back, but he might call. That would be awesome if he called.
Yeah.
No, I haven't found out I have not. And Kathy went and saw him yesterday and visited him. And Kathy went and saw him yesterday, and she had such a time trying to see him. It was like they were trying to turn her away and try to say something was wrong with her birthday and her ID and stuff. And she had seen him before, and they every single time gives her issues, but she talked to him, and they've taken away all his privileges and stuff. He's on lockdown, and he got his chirp taken away, and several other chirps. Like, yeah, it just seems like they're trying to limit his communication to the public. It really seems like that, but he should be out of there any time now. The closer it gets to when he should be out, the more nervous I get. His court date in Sullivan's the 12th, and I would think that he would be transferred by then. So a week and a half he has left at Hawkins, and then he gets transferred to Sullivan. He can be there up to a year if they wanted to, because it's a misdemeanor and it carries up to a year suspended time. But I don't think they'll give him that, but they could. I think they'll be happy that he's going off to inpatient treatment and he's going to spend several months there. And then, yeah, after, it's going to be a while till I can really unless there's a few days he has before he has to report to the rehab, then maybe I can catch him in between those. But I've literally never been able to talk to Fred on the phone ever before he was in jail. Like, it's their internet is so bad out there, like on Ben Hill Road, that I couldn't call them or anything like that. So I hope I can get a hold of him if he does get out for a couple days and talk to him, because the internet's not really good. Because I want to ask him about this stuff. If I actually, if I had a certain date, like I would try to get down there. Well, I don't even want to go to Hawkins. I'm scared to go to Hawkins County, honestly. But maybe I could get somebody to, like, I don't know, Ryan to meet up with him or somebody.
I'll find that and forward it to you, Ziggy. Don mentioned that Fred wasn't on his property that day, if I recall correctly.
Was or wasn't?
Wasn't. Because
well, yeah. Well, but nobody's gonna. Who can believe Fred or Dawn though too? But it would be nice to hear that.
Don likes to link everybody on his property.
Yeah.
Or everybody with something.
Yeah, when you find that, for sure,
He mentioned it on shares not too long ago. I'll have to go through it.
Now, he was on Fred's property the night of Summer's disappearance. That happened. But that was Dawn going down there.
Dawn and Candace was.
Yeah, Candace was down there supposedly looking for Summer.
Why was both of them on Fred's property? That's what, I mean, I understand it's almost at the end of the road, but they didn't talk to any other neighbors like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Let's hope Dawn's trips up on the Tongues on Cows channel. You're going to jail. Sorry.
Thank you, Girl Sunflower. If Don was early at work, how would he know? So maybe he was home. Yeah, I think that's pretty much established that he was. I mean, well, many people believe he was home at.
Don tells himself he was home.
Yeah.
Listen, why people who have nothing to hide nothing?
I know, right, Birdie? But I apologize, guys. I got heated. I know how things so easily take off on YouTube, and then next thing you know, it's like, and I don't want to get off track. Well, I mean, it's my, huh?
Honey Elder. I'm a state witness. I mean, I hate fitness.
Hey, Jack. But if it happened, we need to know. We need to know if that's true, just because we need to know who all was on the property on the 15th. So I don't believe he had anything to do with it, but still, it's important.
No, I don't believe he had anything to do with it, because the time frame of what I understand for him to be on the property was in the morning, and I would go as far to say between 8 and 10 in the morning.
Well, that would add up to what time he said he saw Don
Dawn
driving up the driveway.
with
Okay. So with
So
that being said, is it,
really not.
from everything I can recall, and obviously it's going to have to be researched further, this was discussed by multiple creators, including myself, and it was about 6, maybe 9 months after Summer had disappeared.
Oh,
And
I have
then
heard what RJ is talking about, but I have never heard anyone say it. That's the thing. So that's why I personally think it's a rumor. I've never heard Fred say it or Don say it or any of them that I'm aware of.
Right, and if somebody has it, just or can find it, yeah. Or I'm wondering if something got mixed up, but he did either way. He did say he saw Don going up the drive, with his sons, like in the vehicle, around. It was like I think he said like not, right between those hours, 8 to 10, so in the morning around that time. So, it's probably the same incident. Maybe there was a vehicle at the bottom of the driveway or something. You think that he took, or I don't know. Who knows Fred does claim seeing Dawn that morning. So
my point, what I want to say is about this is though that it I don't remember exactly what happened, but people talked about it for like 2 or 3 days, maybe 4 days. And then something happened. I don't remember what it is. Probably something with Don happened where he opened his mouth and said something and that was more controversial, and everybody just dropped it like it was yesterday's news.
yeah. Well, he did Fred did say that blue truck came from Dawn, so I've seen it there. I just was always under the impression that this was a couple months because it fit into their whole story how they felt like they saw Candace pregnant, like she looked pregnant, and it was a few months before Summer went missing. That's why. But they have all kinds of junk vehicles out there, and so does Dawn. It could have been a different vehicle. I mean, they're always out there. People are always bringing vehicles to Fred. I don't know, like what he probably gives them meth or something for him. I don't know what's going on, but he's always scrapping vehicles.
I
Right.
mean, I would think your first interview you did with him, he would have said, I was there that morning. You know what I mean? Before, she
Unless
went.
I would actually think the opposite. Why would you want to say I was there that morning? Because you understand what's going on over there, and you're placing a focus on yourself. That's something you would tell the law enforcement, and that's it.
But
He's
if
been
you're
so
there
open,
that morning, if
and
you're
he
there
wore a
that, I mean, if you're there that morning, I mean, there was in no time frame where Summer was even there that morning, right? So if it was, I mean, of the evening, we know he was at the scrapyard, right? So it doesn't really matter.
No,
in my
I
opinion.
understand your point. I understand your point, but I'm just saying, playing devil's advocate, for so to speak. Even though he's not tech savvy, doesn't know YouTube, he doesn't. Why would you go and blurt something like that out to a stranger? That you were there that morning, knowing there's a whole legal issue that's going on over there. You would not that you're trying to.
I mean, I think
important to know.
If you know you were at the scrapyard or you're on the interstate where cameras is, why does it matter if you were there that morning or not? You can say you're there that morning. If you're innocent, it doesn't matter. Exactly. People who have nothing to hide nothing.
Yeah, he doesn't act like that. Fred's never been one to like hide stuff. If you pay attention, he's so open.
I agree. I understand. I'm simply saying though,
accidentally. I mean, he could totally spate. That would have been something he would have said. I don't see. He was so open about his drug use and I mean, I know it's a thing you want to separate yourself from. Most people would be. I don't know.
Ziggy, that's my point. That's my point with how private people are that live out on Ben Hill Road. They want their privacy. They really don't want this public exposure, this spotlight being put on that street, that dirt road anyway. But you would want to separate yourself
Well,
as far as possible.
if that was the case, then why would he have said the dog's hid in my driveway?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Point taken.
I think, I think he would have completely said,
Yeah, he
in
did
my
say that,
opinion.
Crystal. He did say he saw Dawn and the boys. That's true. He did say that.
Mhm.
But I know people are sending me clips and stuff, but I'll check them out and we'll go over them tomorrow or whatever. But to hear, some people are sending me some clips, but I'm not sure. I think it's people just talks of, okay, it's just the Laura joins panel. Yeah, they were towing vehicles that day, guys. I know that did happen.
I think, in my opinion, the parents on 110 Ben Hill Road, their alibi is, and their timeline is complete caca. It's just awful. And their past, it doesn't make sense, the story. It's just crazy. It's really
Nothing that comes out of their mouth makes sense.
nothing. Absolute nothing.
So, do you know?
It all unwinds the moment that you look at what time they were supposedly at the hospital, and the hospital administrator. Forgive me if I'm wrong. I remember there being this being talked about on YouTube as well, but I believe it was actually in WJHL that they publicly released, or the hospital administrator said that there was about a 3-hour wait that morning.
Thank you, Lumina, so much for the Cash App. Thank you so much. I just want to say that before I. In Texas Rat, she says, "Do you know if Andy's second family home was ever searched? The house was vacant, so I wonder if anybody searched Okay, that's that conversation I had with Fred that did not freaking record that. So I believe so, because that is supposedly where law enforcement, where Fred said this. Of course, that law enforcement, I don't have it recorded, had found looked like a area, a grave site. It looked like freshly dug dirt. And it was supposedly over there at that property, that second home. So if that's true, then I would think, yeah, that would be right over there, that Bells Road and stuff that everybody always talks about, right across from the church that was where law enforcement set up shop. That's right there. That's right, the hot zone, like out there. And supposedly Andy went out there for some odd reason and checked after the day that Summer went missing. And Fred said it was weird because he's like, he hadn't been out there for, he said, like, ever. And all of a sudden he says that Andy went out there for some reason.
Fred was supposed to, or not Fred, Andy was supposed to have been seen on camera at work.
Yeah, that's what they say. It's frustrating. I wish, but did Donna and Candace put a sex toy on their Amazon wish list?
From what I understand, it's an inflatable hot tub, a rabbit, and a 15-pack of batteries, and a $500 gift card.
What the hell? Are you serious?
That's what I've heard as well.
Oh my
I've never looked.
God.
A vibrating device, yes.
Is this real or is somebody
That's so
playing it?
rant.
Joke?
I mean, Don wants that for hookers. That's all he wants it for is hookers. Hey, come to my house.
God.
Candace, Candace is in visiting Moo right now. She'll be gone for a couple days. I just got a new hot tub. I'm gonna blow it up in just a minute. So come on over, baby. No, I can't go right now. She's got the Subaru and I've been drinking. I got the blow and go, so I can't really. You gotta come here.
Go, can you blow for me?
Yeah.
Oh, dear God.
Never mind. Oh my gosh. Don Bray wants it for his new fan club he has been acquiring. Says
Ziggy,
why time.
Hey, Ziggy,
Hmm.
it's not after dark hours. Remain PG.
No way. I used to really bad want a Ziggy After Dark like channel, like where we talked about inappropriate stuff and like funny like sex stories and date stories and stuff like that. But I knew, like with all my haters, people would get that shut down real quick because it.
Apparently, you can get away with that kind of stuff on Reddit.
On Reddit.
Yeah, some of their sub channels, you can talk about that kind of stuff, dating advice and whatnot.
No, I wanted to do it on YouTube.
Yeah.
A YouTube channel. Like a call in, like a what's that doctor? What was her
Remember
name?
that
Doctor
old lady? Remember that old lady? Yeah, Doctor, was it Sue or something like that?
Ruth or something.
She
Dr.
would like
Ruth.
she would come on at like 2 a.m. in the morning back in the day. She'd have like a cucumber and she'd be like, "Here you go. You put the cucumber over here like this." She was so funny. She'd be like, "Just trust it, honey."
My teenage years on learning what sex ed didn't teach you.
Yeah.
They have
Dr.
a hole
Ruth.
in that bathtub or in that hot tub in 24 hours from. Yeah. Oh my gosh, I couldn't believe that Chris when that guy, I think it was Doctor Boo. How do you say his name? Brucata or something.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, when he was up there and that doctor asked Chris, like, what did the house smell like? Or somebody asked Chris, like, what the house smelled like. And he said he didn't know. He said something like he didn't notice anything or something. Dude, that's not true. That house stunk so bad, like smoke. I could not handle it. It was horrible.
Really?
Like, I don't know. Does Chris doesn't smoke, does he? I don't know how he
No.
would have
God,
handled
no.
it. It was so bad. And I just walked in like the front part. I mean, it was so uncomfortable.
Was it dirty then?
Yes. This would have
I mean,
been when I
was there
got,
like dirt on the walls still?
yeah, it was like dirt floors basically. It seemed like, it was like dirt all over the floors. And it's just, I tried not to look around a lot because I felt like they were like watching me, I felt I
I'd have been like,
didn't want to go up there. That was not the plan. I did not freaking know I thought that they would bring the puppy down to the bottom of the drive, and she just shot right up the driveway. I'm like, well, I guess I'm going up there. I had to walk up there, and I walked in just that front part to grab the pup, and it was so bad, guys. It was so bad, like smoky, so bad. Yeah, it's
lean on
right in
me.
just for seconds.
Lean
I
on me
didn't
said
through it.
musty downstairs. Don't talk about Candace like that. Lean on me. That's so rude. She's musty. Sister's musty.
Your sex ed. They tell you, oh no. No, you guys, and I did not know that was not the plan at all. Like, I did not know I didn't figure that they would want me up there, I just figured that they would bring down them for me to choose one or something, but it is what it is. Here we are. It's 2 years later now, almost. Athena's almost 2 years old.
That's crazy. It's been that long.
I know.
That is legit
Someone's
crazy.
smoking some good stuff in the next house over. I got a good buzz, says Daily Tab. Dang, I'm jealous. Their toilets don't flush. Oh, they like got their own little made their own little like plumbing system or water catching system.
You ever
I
watched the movie Demolition Man? They
don't.
have the three seashells. The wells have a 3 bucket system.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they've got some rigged up system out there where I think they catch rainwater, which is okay idea for, but not to, I don't know what they're using it for. Like,
Well, for
I hear
it
they
can't be.
recycle water out there. Like, what's the hell is recycling water?
You
Is that
can't use it. You can't
rainwater?
use it for drinking water unless you have a filtering system. But the water, the quality of the water here is absolutely amazing. Even though I use a water filtering pitcher, I have the one that comes with the tester, and the tester only reads no higher than like 10. And then for contaminants in general, and then the water filtering system reduces it down to 0. But the water here is spring water, even though it goes through the city. It's spring water. It's the river coming off the mountains. Before you get to Domtar and anyway, but the water is really good quality around here. So other than them not putting out the money to have water piped into their property, there's absolutely no reason for them to have to go through all that.
Was there like a lot of clothes there too in the house?
Yeah, it was. Ew, what I remember, one thing I remember is she put this big bowl like of chili down for the dog. Like, it's like, what the hell? Like, for the mother
I
dog, and it was all yeah, it was like the floors looked like their kitchen table was like basically like a fold up, it wasn't anything, a wooden table or anything, folding chairs.
mean, it probably smelled like ass and pork rinds there. I mean, to be
It's
honest with
all
you.
I could smell is cigarettes. It was really, really bad.
It's
The
okay.
cigarettes. I didn't smell sewage or anything. Surprisingly, I just know smoke.
Yeah,
I can't stand cigarette smoke though. Like, ugh.
I can't either. It's
But
so
yeah, the
bad.
kids had to deal with that. That's got to be like pretty bad. They were in there. Yeah, and they sit there and smoke inside and stuff too.
I mean,
Um,
I can't imagine just all the dope that they've had in that house and smoking it and everything else.
you
Just
remember that lady that came on, and I didn't really believe this story, but I think she used to go by Eden Paranormal, where she came on and talked about the dirty kids and saying she called it. She was talking dirty. She said dirty kids. That her child is a dirty kid, and these are kids that ride the trains from city to city or something, and that
Yeah.
supposedly her daughter and her daughter's boyfriend or something had stopped at Rogersville, and like they somehow linked up with Candace and Dawn and stayed at the Wells house.
Yep. Read
I don't
about
know.
it.
It's a crazy story, but we need to find that. Then I've heard so many freaking crazy stories. Gosh.
The only trains that run in this area are freight trains.
Hey,
You said that the woman said that the children would take trains from place to place, town to town, or whatnot.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Her story is for hogwash. They're the only trains that run in this area are freight trains.
well, you can jump on the back of them and stuff. People hop them.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I guess
kids to do that,
Well, I mean,
kids
they
would
weren't
end up getting seriously
they're
hurt.
druggies. Yeah, but I mean,
they weren't kids. I don't think like kids like.
right. They're like, I don't even think, I don't think they were like, she says kids, but I think she says that because they're her kids. I think they were of age.
Yeah, she was. She was like 19, I think, wasn't she?
Yeah, she was acting like saying that they were having like orgies and stuff, like crazy stuff. I'm like, oh, come on now. That's just, I mean, maybe, but who?
Have you? Can we
was
share
really
that, Ziggy?
What?
Screen share.
You
Oh,
just
okay.
reminded me what JSB used to say.
Have you ever seen that picture of Summer?
No.
I don't know which one is, but there's see the walls here.
Yeah. Yeah, that's how it looked. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's and it doesn't make sense because he does drywall. Can you put it back to that dog picture? I've never seen that before.
Yep.
That one that's right in front of her could be Lucky.
I think that is Lucky.
It looks like
That
Lucky.
looks like that looks like the mother of Athena. She's a real sweetie. And look right there, the brown one. That's the one we wanted. He got killed and ran over. Like, you remember he was supposedly Tim Mullen's dog? Puddles? That looks like Puddles.
Well,
That would have
allegedly,
been pretty right before she went missing. Sorry.
Candace's dog that she got in Arkansas got ran over.
Imagine that.
She said it. She gave it back. I heard different.
Wow. Imagine
I'm
that.
not surprised.
I'm saying I just took a screenshot of that picture because I like that picture. That's the only picture I've seen. Like, I haven't seen her with a. That's the only picture that is definitely Lucky. That's the mother of Athena. Huh.
Isn't that Athena like almost underneath of her?
No.
No,
That's her first litter. That was her first litter,
Oh, okay.
I think. Yeah, I can't keep thinking. So that looks like, anyways. That looks like Yucky or Lucky, anyways.
Well,
If
it looks like there's a puppy right here.
yeah, that's
That's
what I'm
what
saying.
I'm speaking of.
Her first puppies. Those can't be. That can't because the puppy. Yeah, she would have been pregnant when Summer went missing. She wouldn't have even had the puppies, the Athena yet when Summer went missing because remember that was I went there. It was around like December of 2021 or January of 2022 when I got Athena, and she was just little. Remember, everybody was like thinking she was trying to say she was only 4 weeks old and stuff.
Yeah,
So,
Candace didn't even want to give you guys a dog.
Yeah. Yeah, she tried to back out last second because of Tim Mullen said, "Oh, he didn't think it was a good idea," and we just wanted the adult
Yeah.
one.
God forbid they sit there and eat, dog food and roaches.
Right. Yeah, and the shit I was just telling somebody the other day how much shit I got for that. Like how much shit people
Oh
gave.
my God, you got so much stuff for that. I'm like, anything that's alive, like a dog or anything that's taken off the whales and given a good home, praise the Lord.
Well, they were trying to say I
Right.
wasn't a good home. I couldn't take, they're basically trying to insinuate I can't even, take care of a dog. It was just ridiculous, And at the time I didn't have any dogs or
Dogs.
anything. And I know I always say, they could be
Just
like,
cat
oh, you
person.
said you weren't a dog person. You're a cat person. So?
Yep.
Good Lord.
That can change. That can change.
Yeah, I can't.
Now you got two dogs, and this one
They're
licks
both.
your ear constantly.
Yeah.
Well,
He's
that's
a freak. Love
I'm a
him.
cat person naturally,
Mhm.
but I also had dogs, but when I've had a dog, it's been the size of a boxer or a pit bull, and I would never have a dog smaller than those two breeds.
Yeah.
I
See,
like small dogs.
yeah. I could totally see you, Justin, with a dog. Like, I could see you carrying around this dog. Seriously. I could. It's like perfect for you.
I have a
Seriously.
pug.
Yeah, I know, but you need one
She's
of these.
very
Like,
small for a pug, though. She's very, very small for a pug.
I
She's
want
the
one of those.
smallest bug I think I've ever seen, probably.
You know
Actually,
those wraparound whole, like, well, pregnant mothers use them,
yeah.
or not. I mean, new mothers use them to carry
Yep.
their newborn around. They
Mhm.
have them for pups too. I want one of those. She's just like a baby,
I know.
or he's
Really.
just like a baby.
He's so funny.
Justin wants an eggie. What's an eggie? What's an eggie?
I don't know what's an Iggy.
Um, I thought I
I
was a kittens. Oh.
I would really